What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Eternal Update. I am Jedi, and this is January 23rd. And guess what? Strangers are back, baby. That's right. We're starting to see the new wave of strangers come through in Echoes of Eternity, the latest set from Direwolf Digital. It's going to be coming out confirmed next month. So February, we haven't gotten a specific date, but they did mention that on the post today on Twitter. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. First up, we have Steely Stranger. This is a 1/3 stranger at common for 2 justice. And it reads, when one or more strangers attack, the top unit of their owner's deck gets a random battle skill. So once again, we can see this confirms that we are going to see the strangers affecting both sides of the board. So that is something to consider as we see strangers become a thing. I was not around the first time strangers were in the meta, so we will see how this plays out. But this seems pretty saucy. It's kind of a crown on a stick. So I like that. And then once again, it's interesting to find out if this is going to bleed over to the other strangers or not. Obviously, at the moment, I believe it won't, because it won't say all strangers get flying or something like that. But still, something like that 1/3 body has done some work. Next up, we have a Magnificent Stranger. Love the artwork. Not quite sure what's going on, even though that's like a warped skull in the middle here. But this is a 2/3 stranger at common for 2 time. When one or more strangers attack, reduce the cost of the top card of their owner's deck by 2. So of note, this means that even if you attack with 1 or 8 strangers, the top card of your deck is only going to be reduced by 2, but it can, of course, what's the word I'm looking for? Hit multiple units. So it doesn't have to hit just a stranger. It can hit a spell like Harsh Rule. It can hit, of course, I don't know why you would have Harsh Rule in a stranger's deck, but you guys get what I'm saying. Make a removal spell 2 cheaper, make a big bomb 2 cheaper, or even another more expensive stranger 2 cheaper. So that is something that's going to be interesting to see that happen. Of course, it is in time, which is a color that typically focuses on bigger units. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of decks this guy will go into. It looks like they're trying to make strangers a little more versatile, not just super synergy with strangers, because obviously like this one gives a battle skill to any unit on the top of your deck, doesn't matter. Next up, we have a Combray Stranger. This is Strange Duelist, a 3/2 warrior stranger for 3 time justice. When a player plays a stranger, they gain 1 health and 1 armor. So vestige on a stick once again. Pay 4 and exhaust Strange Duelist to silence a non-stranger unit. So it's not going to do much in the mirror, but man, that's spicy. We already saw that with Bizarre Trickster being on a 2/3 that pay 4 silence a unit, and that was extremely powerful. Huge backbreaking card, so I would not be surprised to see this card see some play. Of course, it is a rare. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but so that's going to be an issue, something to consider later on down the line. Next up, we have a Strange Burglar. This is a 5/4 rogue stranger at rare for 4 fire shadow, which is Stone Scar. When a player plays a stranger, their units get +1 attack this turn. So a very aggressive card. Pay 2, exhaust Strange Burglar, and sacrifice another unit to draw 3 cards and take 3 damage. Wow. So this card is clearly pushed in my opinion. 5/4 for 4 is already a good rate, and it plays well. I feel like this is kind of the go wide Stone Scar. Mainly, I mean, don't get me wrong, the +1 definitely means that it's an aggressive card. It itself is a beater, but obviously, giving a +1 attack to all your units means the wider you go, the more beneficial that effect is. And then, of course, having random Grenadins or 1/1s to sack to the ability to draw 3 cards and take 3 damage is huge. Like, that's such a good engine or gas for later in the game when your hand is empty. This card's going to see some play, I feel like. It's powerful. Don't know if it's going to be a 4 of or not, but man. And then finally, we're seeing a legendary stranger here. Our last spoiler for today, or preview card, is going to be the Linray Stranger. This is a just plain stranger at legendary, 4/5 for 5 primal. And when a player plays a stranger, they stun a non-stranger enemy unit. When the Linray Stranger attacks, play a 3/3 dragon with flying. Man, nothing but gas here. This card is really strong to me. Once again, it's going to be dependent on the stranger on stranger meta, but man, like being able to stun a unit so it can attack, to get another dragon, that to get a 3/3 flyer, so evasive unit, and just repeat that process is pretty insane. And of course, it's when you play a stranger, so you can play 2 strangers in a turn and stun 2 different things. Granted, you'll still only get 1 dragon in that attack, but it seems extremely powerful. This guy stacks well, multiples, right? Play 1 stranger, stun 2 things, get 2 dragons. Wow. Like this is pretty impressive. They are definitely pushing the stranger thing. So once again, as I stated earlier, they are keeping the strangers affecting both sides of the board, so that's going to be interesting when you see those stranger on stranger metas. But we are seeing them implement a method in which strangers play well by themselves, so it's going to be interesting to see which ones end up making specific decks and how many actual stranger synergies we see and stuff like that. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. I'm super excited about Echoes of Eternity. I think it's going to be a really fun set. It's going to be interesting. I'm glad strangers are back. I never got a chance to play with them in the meta the first time I did occasionally make a strangers deck. So let me know in the comments below if you're excited about strangers coming back or not for the latest set of Eternal, Echoes of Eternity. Of course, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you guys made it this far, don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button. But that'll do it for me. So until the next time, happy gaming.